How's it hanging, fellers? Let's watch some more TikTokers.
I see that. This is the third time I've come through, and this is exactly how I've seen them. 3 times now.
Was that just for kids?
Alright, tell me I'm on fucking crack. Every time I turn off the light, there's like a shadow there. Watch. You see that?
Can't hear it.
Fuck. What the fuck?
I don't know. You see the shadow?
Fucking crack, dude.
Sorry, I don't know. That one was jacked up, I guess. Not convinced. What about you? I think I've seen this one. I'm not convinced by it either.
You can see a much more stable fracture. Okay. I have to do this quick because this stuff does not last. 525. You can see there's a whole range of tones here, but 525, you're going to hear, probably hear the fluctuation there. There we go. If you don't know where that is, I do. Is in Sedona, and it is a well-known vortex phenomenon. There's several of them there, and you are witnessing a gate, portal, wormhole, Stargate, whatever you want to call it, from this bedroom to another state.
What do you guys think? You think that was real? I don't know. Probably not, but that'd be pretty wild.
There's a whole agenda with Princess Catherine, or Kate Middleton as I've been referring to her as, that if you can't see the whole picture as a multi-dimensional image, you're not going to understand it. And everything that I'm bringing to you here on this TikTok channel, on this channel, is me showing you the multi-dimensional image. 70% of you guys are not going to understand that. And I have plenty of other videos on how royals, elites, famous people, people that are living in sin, whatever you want to call them, skip over the second D word. And I'm probably going to have to repost that video because that video was posted back in November. And basically they are able to stay in some way immortal forever. You guys would know what I'm talking about if you saw any of my previous videos on vampires and how the goal for the vampire ritual, sorry guys, I sneezed. The goal for the vampire ritual is so that people skipped over the second D word, okay. And this was a goal that a lot of elites and royals had back then, especially in Europe. But the origins of vampires actually came from ancient Egypt. Funny how a lot of people are in my comments saying that there's some type of conspiracy that Oprah, 50 Cent, Jay-Z are all from ancient Egyptian bloodlines. Funny how the ancient Egyptians are known for skipping over the second D word and have made many of their royal elitists vampires. There's so many dots to connect here, and I'm not saying that this is the only ritual for people to skip over the second D word. After ancient Egypt adapted this, then the people in Eastern Europe adapted this. There's people in Romania that still believe in vampires. There are still vampires. There's been reports of vampires in the United States, New Orleans, and I believe Connecticut or Rhode Island. There was one little girl, I forgot the name of her. Who knows about the vampire case in Rhode Island? Comment below.
This stuff is not just folklore. This stuff actually happened. And people in Eastern Europe are still victims of vampire attacks. The vampire ritual or rituals, there's multiple vampire rituals, goes into Luciferian magic, and it also goes into intimacy magic. There's a few books on the vampire rituals. They're a little hard to find. I'm not gonna lie, I have one. Actually, I was given one by somebody that was, I don't know who they are, but they were very kind to give it to me. But just think about it. If ancient Egyptians were so obsessed with skipping over the second, wouldn't that mean they're all still here?
Probably not. I always thought vampires were based off, that small country in the Middle East, off those people. You know what I mean? I always thought they were based off of them. I don't know. I mean, I'd say vampires are real. They're probably like Nephilim or like Nephilim descendants of some kind, or I don't know, or maybe heck, maybe somebody created them. I don't know. Like I mean, like in a lab or something, and or mutated them. I don't know. What do you think?
33 years old. The things that I've seen, it's just incredible. Incredible. And till today, when I make these contents, some people are still saying, they don't believe this, they don't believe that. I should be recording this, I should be recording that. But most of these things that I've actually saw were actually in Haiti. If you think that the average person is running around with an iPhone or a Samsung in Haiti, you lost your mind. Okay? Like, we live by eyesight. Okay, that's it. By eyesight. But this is a story for many who actually understand that we do not live alone. We don't. So many things around us. So, I was probably about 7 years old. Okay? And I was actually in the street of Port-au-Prince. I was not nowhere in no suburb or anything. The capital, where it's like full of people. Okay? So, I'm there, and it was with my cousin. We were so tight, like everywhere that I go, like, 'cause since he was older, he was always with me, just to make sure that nothing happens to me or anything like that, but it was like kind of like nighttime, but it was not late. It was like 7-8 p.m. and like we walking down the street, and it was we actually lived in Simon at this point. If you Haitian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's literally like maybe a couple miles from Cité Soleil. And you know how like that area is. People just walk. Like when it gets to around that time, literally, it's kind of like New York City. You bump into people. Bump into people. And then 8 p.m., that's still early. All of a sudden, it gets like completely empty. It was just me and my cousin. There was nobody around. Nobody. It's kind of like everyone disappeared. And then I'm asking him what's going on. He's like, don't say nothing. Just keep moving. And I'm like, I'm starting to get scared. So I'm like walking, walking as fast as I can. And he's walking right next to me.
Sorry for interrupting, and I apologize to keep yawning. It's driving me nuts.
And he's like, let me hold your hand. Let's keep going. He's older than me, so he's trying to like make sure that like we both get back home safe. And then what I heard was a band. Uh, uh, we call it Bonurara. You know, it's literally people with tambourines and trumpets and, you know, different like homemade instruments. You know, they play around the streets in Haiti, and then, you know, like people love that. But this particular band, it's not the same. This is a demonic one. This one, we were told, if you hear that at night and you don't see anybody around, not only that, you know, you in a different portal with them, but they actually after you. And do not turn around. Don't turn around and just keep moving. My cousin makes sure that I did not turn my head around. And every time that I tried, he just like pulling me, don't turn around. We gotta get home safe. We gotta get home safe. And they followed us for at least a couple of miles. And then when the whole thing stopped, the streets was filled up with people all over again. All over again. So even after that, you know, like I started to understand. I started to like, you know, do some more research when I grew up. I actually walked into a different portal with my cousin, and these things were after us. Because all these people suddenly disappeared. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. If you Haitian, you know what I'm talking about. Like Simon, Cité Soleil, 2 miles from one another. People walk. It looks like New York City, where it's just like people just walking, you know, bumping, you know, like on each other up until like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. And then all of a sudden, disappeared. And then we heard that Bon Sampwell, that's what they call them, in the back. And then we just kept on moving. Yes, we jumped through a portal, and these things were after us. If you don't believe me, that's fine. But if you're spiritual and you understand that these things do exist, parallel universe, portals, demons, even angels, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they say Haiti is pretty wild. They say that there's like vampires there and like all kinds of creatures and zombies. What do you think about zombies? You think they're real? I mean, they have to be based off of something, right?
Yeah, I'm scared of them. That's why I walked it.
Bubby, you stay with us.
I'm going down. Who's that room? Who's that in this room?
Ooh, it's purple.
You want this room, Sally?
It's Harry Potter themed.
Did you hear that? Said the name Jadis or something like that. Hold on. I thought I seen something
Bubby,
like
you stay with us.
over in the corner, maybe.
I'm going down.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, but looks like there's something like a mist or something.
Ooh, it's purple.
You want this room, Sally?
I realized I was talking.
It's Harry Potter themed.
I realized I was talking when that thing said that name. Anyways, next clip.
Once a man who claimed that he and his entire family were vampires, openly showing his fangs, moving at unnatural speed, and even revealing eyes that appeared to turn red on camera. At the time, most people laughed it off as a hoax, but the story has taken on a stranger tone in recent years. Reports now suggest that there may be over 1,000 self-proclaimed vampires around the world, and the origins of this story trace back to 1997 when the same man appeared on television insisting he was a real vampire. Nearly 28 years have passed since then, yet what disturbs many viewers is that his body appears not to have aged at all. Adding to the mystery is a woman who also claims to be a vampire, stating that she was born in 1922. In her videos, she asks for help from kind people willing to share what she calls the red liquid, while her visible fangs and eerily similar eyes closely resemble the man's. Even more unsettling is that all of these self-proclaimed vampires say they were born in the same place, a castle in Transylvania that is heavily protected and strictly restricted. Approaching the site is forbidden, and entering it is said to be impossible. Legend claims that those who tried never returned.
That's weird. They say a lot of crazy stuff happens to those castles, like to children. Um, I don't know if it's like those kind of castles, but like the kind with the elite and disgusting people.
Dude, what the heck, man? Who are you? Hello? What was that? Did you guys see that? At least I got that on camera. Bye.
It happens fast, so fast that you could miss it if you blink. A pale, translucent-looking figure suddenly passes by, almost like a thin wisp of smoke taking shape for only a second. Kay Marie instantly reacts, clearly aware that she saw something, but unable to understand what it was. Then, just after she asks, "Who are you?" something even stranger seems to dart above her head.
Dude, what the heck, man? Who are you? Hello? What was that?
The movement is so quick and so unnatural that it's almost impossible to make out any clear shape. It doesn't move like a person. It doesn't drift like dust. It just shoots across the room with an eerie, weightless motion that feels wrong the moment you see it. And as disturbing as that already is, it wouldn't be the only strange thing captured that night. Because later on, Kay Marie records something even harder to explain.
What was that? Did you guys see that? Come on. Come here. Come on. Come here.
This time, a faint voice can be heard in the footage, quietly saying, "Come here." It's barely audible, but once noticed, it becomes difficult to ignore. The voice sounds thin, distant, almost whispered from somewhere just out of frame. What makes it even more disturbing is that Kay Marie says she didn't hear it in the moment, and yet only seconds later, she repeats those exact same words herself, as if responding to something she wasn't even consciously aware of.
Come on. Come here.
No one knows where that voice came from, or why she echoed it back. But even that isn't the strangest part of the night, because only moments later, while filming in the living room, Kay Marie appears to capture one final detail that leaves the entire experience even more unsettling. Watch carefully.
Sorry, it cut off. I think clips like that are probably real. Um, like, like you know what I mean? Those kind of clips. I think they're probably real. I think there's a lot of fake ones, but those pretty convincing. Anyways, that's the last clip I got. A couple of them didn't work. I don't know. Messes up sometimes, but I appreciate you watching. Thank you, and God bless you and your families. Bye.